For quite some time, women in the industry have dealt with sexist comments regarding every move they make, and some celebrities, like Taylor Swift, are still dealing with sexism and misogyny to this very day. Case in point, in the 10th episode of Netflix's new series, Ginny Georgia, there's a scene where a female character tells another woman, quote, "You go through men faster than Taylor Swift." Not being one to sit back and let the mention slide, Taylor took to Twitter to criticize the show for that line. In a tweet, Taylor wrote, "Hey Ginny and Georgia, 2010 called and it wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defining this horse as funny?" But of course, Taylor isn't the only celeb to speak out against the sexist and misogynistic comments against her. More recently, many stars have come out in support of Britney Spears after the New York Times Framing Britney Spears doc aired. Not only did the documentary cover Britney's rise to fame and her, it also took a deep dive into the misogynistic tabloid culture that came along with it. While the Framing Britney doc opened up the conversation of sexism and misogyny in recent times, stars like Ariana Grande and Emma Thompson, just to name a few, have called out those very topics in the past. Back in 2015, after being tirelessly referred to as Big Sean's ex, Ariana stood up for herself as well as other women in an empowering message. The Grammy Award-winning singer said that she is, quote, "tired of living in a world where women are mostly referred to as a man's past, present, or future property/possession. I do not belong to anyone but myself, and neither do you." Since then, Ari has been in control of her narrative and continues to uplift women through her music and art. When Emma Thompson found out John Lasseter, who had left Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios in 2018 over sexual harassment allegations, was hired on to head Skydance Animation, she made the choice to leave her role on the studio's animated feature, Luck. In a letter to Skydance management made available to The Times, Emma acknowledged the complications caused by a star leaving a project, but ultimately said John's involvement raised a number of questions for her that made it impossible for her to remain in the film. Emma ended the letter by saying, "I am well aware that centuries of entitlement to women's bodies, whether they like it or not, is not going to change overnight or in a year, but I am also aware that if people who have spoken out, like me, do not take this sort of stand, then things are very unlikely to change at anything like the pace required to protect my daughter's generation." Wow, well said, Emma. Beyonce, award-winning singer, mother, activist, and all of the above, is another star who continues to use her platform to call out inequalities in the entertainment business. In a video aimed at the graduates of 2020 put on by YouTube, B kicked off her message by congratulating the high school seniors who persevered through such unprecedented times with the global pandemic crisis. Beyonce also highlighted the Black Lives Matter protests and even touched on the sexism that is still prevalent in the music industry to this day.
The entertainment business is still very sexist. It's still very male-dominated, and as a woman, I did not see enough female role models given the opportunity to do what I knew I had to do. Not enough Black women had a seat at the table. So I had to go and chop down that wood and build my own table. Then I had to invite the best there was to have a seat.
Like her peers listed here before her, Beyonce isn't the only star to fight for what's right and insist on creating opportunities for women and those who are often overlooked. Carrie Washington has a long history of portraying strong characters on screen and off screen. She's just as strong as the characters she plays. In 2017, Carrie shared at the Women of Sundance Brunch that since starting her own production company, she's making sure her table reflects the real world. The actress said, "I get to hire other women, people of color, and people of the LGBTQ community. I want to make sure that people society has labeled as other have a chance to be leaders and to make the table look like what the real world looks like." Jessica Chastain has been a longtime advocate for equality. Not only does she talk the talk, but she also walks the walk. In 2018, Octavia Spencer revealed that Jessica fought for Octavia to receive equal pay on a project they were doing together. She tweeted, "I am making 5 times my salary because Jessica stood with me. I don't know what or if it cost her anything as far as her rate. I just know she stood with me and am eternally grateful." These ladies are just a handful of celebrities who've called out sexist comments and stood up against inequality for others in the industry over the years. And they most definitely won't be the last.